So like I was saying, I don't know where this is coming from. I just feel the need to talk about Screech.
The need for Screech.
I was a kid and loved Saved by the Bell every Saturday, and I would watch it, and I would want to be Zach. I'd want to be AC Slater. I would never want to be Screech. But I loved the show. I loved what it was about. It was very stupid and very cheesy, but I liked it. Kyle.
I was a little older and did never watch the show, thought Screech was ridiculous, had a chance to meet Screech once and passed on it.
We'll get to that in his life. And this isn't really like a Corey volume where we're just going to like make fun of the weirdness of it all. I don't know. Just a moment to take to recognize this guy existed, and he had some really good moments and some really strange, bad moments.
Well, Chris, what you're saying is that Back to the Sofa is a source of celebrity profile video essays. And this is another one of those.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, so that's exactly what this is. And I hope you enjoy our video essay.
So if you remember...
Oh, God, he just rocked him with the first punch.
So So Screech was on the show. He had hard times. He didn't have a lot of money. And then he decided to beat the shit out of an old Horshack on Fox Celebrity Boxing.
Yeah, we have a whole video about this.
We have a whole video on it. It's disgraceful. It's sad. And he takes it very seriously. So
right.
This is part of his downfall.
This is his shining moment where he feels as the most powerful he's ever felt in his whole life.
This is what happens when you give Screech power.
Right? Look at him. Look at him.
Does he have to go on the offensive?
Fakes him.
Absolutely, Earl.
And he's just going to blast him and knock him down. He has all the reach. He has all the height. Oh, rocked back.
He's like 28 or something versus that's to the back of the head. Versus like a 60-year-old man.
Horshack is 84 years old in this video.
It's crazy, dude. How serious. And then he mocks him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Like this is the final. The 2 rounds have already happened.
Right.
Look how tired and out of shape that old man is.
Look.
This is. You can't be proud of yourself. You cannot.
Have you ever had like a younger cousin that you just beat the fuck out of?
No.
That's what this looks like.
It's yeah.
Where
Thank
you just push him away from the candy. You're like, get away from this. TKO.
Look at this.
TKO.
And look where his shorts are all the way up to like his mid chest.
Right.
What are you afraid Horshack's going to damage your liver? Anyway, okay. So this gives you a good idea of what we're talking about when we say downfall. Now, I'm not here to, like I said, I'm not here to like bash the dude completely. Saved by the Bell was cool. He's originally from San Jose, California. And I didn't know that. That's where I'm from. On the show, he was like 5 or 6 years younger than all the other castmates. That's a huge, or whatever. And that's a huge difference when you're talking like a 16-year-old and a 12-year-old or 11. So he was never really with them. However, what happened was, he was trying to play some kind of horrible character where he was a bad guy. And he got into an argument with a very real former military trainer.
That's not going to go well.
You're 3 rounds. Get the fuck out of here, man. Everyone else has been up. I don't have to go anywhere. Somebody get his ass out of here. You are fucking full of shit. You're done, Dustin. You must out of your fucking part-time cartoon mind. Threaten me. God damn, don't you ever fucking threaten me.
I did not threaten you.
You just goddamn stood there and say you fucking challenge me. I will wear your fucking ass out. Don't you ever fucking threaten me. I'm here to fucking help your fat ass.
This guy's not messing around. Screech is terrified.
They did an interview with him like a year later, and the guy was still really mad.
Oh, yeah.
On the street.
Is that what I said?
Oh.
You don't want to.
Is that what I said?
Because I'll wear your fucking ass out.
That's a threat.
Fuck your.
That guy looks like a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
You goddamn right.
That's how the drill sergeants used to talk to me.
It's a fucking problem.
Wheeler, if you don't get your shit together.
That's what's in your face. Right.
Fucking threaten me, bitch. You know.
Is that the brat?
It looks like it.
You take that shit to your poor convention. Get off the scale.
He's all, don't ever threaten me with your part-time Mickey cartoon ass life.
Dustin, go. Now put that bitch on a beach fight. Get the fuck out of here.
When you say shut up, I'll be quiet. When he leave, I'll be talking again.
But the whole thing was completely pointless because all the celebrities, it was like Celebrity Rehab, but for food, but most of them weren't even that fat.
What this video touches on is just how aggravating this motherfucker is and how he triggers people.
Yeah.
That man has tons of military discipline and can be under fire and all of that probably. And Screech made that guy blow a fucking seal.
Yes.
He totally blew a seal.
He was smarmy. I remember the show barely, but I remember he was smarmy the whole time. He didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not going to lose weight. I don't give a shit. I'm just here for the money. Like he would say that out loud.
Uh-huh. So when we used to watch the show with Urkel,
right,
and Urkel transformed into Stefan Urkel,
family members, yeah,
right. That guy pulled off the transition pretty well.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, Urkel is actually a smooth dude.
He could be.
When Screech makes that transition, the drill sergeant wants to fucking kill him.
Because you play like kind of the nerdy character, you went out and studied karate, right?
Well, actually, it's not because of that, but I started. My dad taught for 11 years.
I
took it when
he
I
was a karate teacher.
It doesn't show at all.
No.
I did a couple episodes. Yeah. Yeah, they wrote that in.
But you are a black belt in karate.
Yes.
What type of karate?
That's it.
He's the modern day Jerry Lewis.
And, various other forms from there.
So you can kick ass.
Well, yeah, but
have you ever had to use your karate?
Can you really kick ass, or do you stop just before you hit somebody?
Anybody below 200 pounds, I'm okay with.
But talk to me about something. People try to pick on you because of the character you play. They think maybe you're a nerd. They can beat you up.
That's true. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to use the karate every once in a while?
I have actually had to defend myself.
I also use knives.
What was the incident?
Oddly enough, it was Disneyland. I went to Disneyland. I had a girl, I'd receive 5,000 fan letters a week, and this one girl kept sending letters years after years.
You had to beat up a girl?
I beat the shit out of that.
Fan of mine. She had watched it since she was like 4, I guess.
Okay.
And I decided she was in Orange County. I live in Orange County. I told her I'd take her to Disneyland for her birthday.
Right.
What?
And so I showed up.
How old was she at this time?
She was just turning 8.
Wow.
Yeah, and I took her to Disneyland with her parents, and they were all.
Wait. She's been watching you since 4. She barely knows how to write and stuff, and now she's such a huge fan that you were going to take her to Disneyland?
She's been writing letters for years.
Like,
you left that out.
Like a letter? Like A and B?
I'm not going to say it.
Don't do it.
And this guy was shouting out stuff to me, and he was in the boat ahead of me on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Right.
And when we got off the ride, he was waiting for me. Yeah, and he tried throwing like a swing at me and stuff.
And did you deck him?
Screech threw him into a wall. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They took me back to Mickey Mouse prison. They have
no
there.
kidding.
Yeah, it's like a real jail cell where they hold you until the Anaheim police come, and it's got like Mickey holding like a bar, like holding the bars and like crying and stuff. Really ridiculous.
It doesn't sound like self-defense when they take you to jail.
No.
Right.
And what did the 8-year-old girl think of all that? Did she get nicely traumatized from fucking Disneyland with Screech? He also gets into a bar fight. We're going to hear a story from Kyle after this.
Meanwhile, all eyes are on Wisconsin right now. A former child actor known to you at home as Screech is in jail, arrested and accused of stabbing a man in a bar fight. He was in court this afternoon. Dustin Diamond didn't.
Yes, he didn't rely on his karate.
Public defender there. He does claim the stabbing was an act of self-defense. Diamond says that he was protecting his fiancée, who was also.
Oh, she looks out too.
A little bit.
And people inside that saw the incident take place.
Yeah, there were witnesses, so it's not like it's just him versus them.
Versus Dustin and Diamond.
How sad is this?
Morning, Dustin Diamond appeared.
Again, it doesn't look like self-defense when you're in jail.
Saved by the bell.
Got some sores on the face. So someone talked shit. He pulled out the knife. They kept talking shit and
is that it?
Obtained by TMZ shows Diamond confronting another person at the bar moments before the stabbing. Witnesses say the incident happened here.
Right
so
here.
he confronted 2 people.
Police were
multiple people. So this is another thing we're going to watch. It's not going to be in this one, but it's a full interview with Howard Stern. Very sad. Where he actually went on the Howard Stern show because stuff was so bad. It was around this time that he couldn't pay really any bills. So he made a shirt, a terrible.
Sold signs.
On the back it says,
a terrible, terrible shirt that says, I paid $15 to save Screech's house. And then there's a picture of his house on the back of it. And he wanted to sell as many as he could to pay like $135,000 or something for the remainder of his mortgage because he couldn't pay it. He was going to lose the property.
No!
He lost the property.
Yeah.
So
he should have sold it in the first place.
paid $15 to save Screech's house.
Back in 2006.
Kyle has a little story. Let's talk about it.
So I was in a town called Merced, California. It is a dump.
We live around this area still. Can you just... It's a town.
Okay. The house I was at was a dump.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. I was on 21st Street. It was this old garage where people would, party and do whatever. And there's like writing on the walls and bad furniture. And I said, I think we're going to head out. And someone said, oh, no, hang out. Dustin is going to come over. And I'm like, Dustin who? And he's like, Dustin Diamond.
In Merced, California.
Yeah, is going to come over to this garbage house to hang out with this garbage people that I didn't even know. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to head out.
You left.
Oh, yeah.
You did not want to stay.
No.
Even though it was just a chill place.
Right. And this is way after Dustin Diamond was famous at all. Like, it was probably around this time. And maybe I just divined through the spirit of energy that it wasn't going to go well, and that maybe he had, been on having some vitamins and was armed, and that I needed to get away, but I definitely left.
Too stabby. So so Kyle purposely missed an opportunity to meet Dustin Diamond.
Yes.
I always thought that was funny.
I also purposely avoided an opportunity to present Green Day with an award.
We're not going to get into this.
Okay.
I love Green Day. He does.
No, I don't like Green Day. Comment below if you like. Oh!
Dustin Diamond speaking out for the first time since going to jail.
He's never gotten more attention and loved it more.
About going from the small screen to
like that was his work.
Right.
Describe your time in jail.
It's not like what you see on TV.
Oh, is that the guy?
That's Mario Lopez.
That's the guy.
So here's what you can do when you're an amazingly handsome, charismatic looking guy that doesn't even get a lot of work in Hollywood. You could still be on Good Morning America or Extra. He's still on that shit. He's been doing it for like 20 years now.
Yeah. I consider you guys in the same category.
All right.
It's pretty daunting. It's pretty scary going into that environment.
The former teen playing Saved by the Bell.
See, we're talking about all this dark shit, and this was what he was
This is the guy. Right.
Mario Lopez on Extra about serving 3
in comparison, Corey Feldman is way cooler than this guy.
He is. Oh my God, they had that?
2014.
That's not self-defense.
I can't tell what happened.
Just a knife and stab someone.
No. When I had my pocket knife like this, and the blade was right here, and a guy came from around me and grabbed my throat.
Right.
And so he nicked his arm on the tip of it. It was a Band-Aid. Most expensive Band-Aid I've ever bought.
That scuffle captured on this TMZ video. And last June, Diamond was convicted of carrying a concealed weapon and disorderly conduct, both misdemeanors. Diamond argued he was trying to protect his fiancée, Amanda Schutz, also convicted on charges of disorderly conduct.
From what? Not having more...
She had been punched in the face after she tried to stop a group of people trying to take pictures of him.
I want it to be clear that this situation will never be repeated again.
The 39-year-old released
so sad. He could pull shit together at this time and still do something.
For good behavior. Janitorial work, cleaning floors, and doing laundry. Now, the actor is focused on a different kind of time.
Is he an actor, though?
I mean, I've been doing it, acting and performing for, since I was 8 years old. So it's really my bread and butter. I want to put the tomfoolery and malarkey behind.
It's not enough to buy a house.
Tomfoolery?
For that clean slate.
Did you see how smarmy he looked in that last shot?
Yes.
He's so happy to be interviewed about stabbing someone.
Shit happens in life.
Right.
You stab people, and then why not go on the Juggalo show?
Why so controversial?
Well, I had to break the Screech image, buddy.
Well, you're the one that's allegedly had sex with 2,000 women. I don't think you need any.
He also, in his book, we're going to get to this, he also wrote a book, Screech by the Bell or Saved by the Screech, I don't remember what it's called, where he lied about everything. And he admitted later that it was a ghost writing, so it wasn't even him writing. He just wanted money. He needed money. And he talked about how they had orgies on the set of Saved by the Bell, how everyone was addicted to crazy drugs, and that he slept with over 2,000 people during that time.
That's because I had to put some work behind it. I had to be a silver-tongued devil, my friend.
Everybody has to put work behind banging 2,000 freaks, guys. That doesn't just come by laying back.
What?
2,000 women.
What show is this?
Are we talking?
It's a show of entertainers.
Oh, no, there were
and they know how to dress for entertainment.
There were many last calls.
Yikes! That's a real show.
Oh, I thought there was more to that. But he did definitely say over and over he had sex with over 2,000. That's a real show.
That's a God, we need two guys over there dressed like a crazy bellhop and a hip hop guy.
So
Oprah?
I also, this is a Where Are They Now? He's not in the studio.
Okay.
He's not big enough for that. He did have a tour going on after his stabbing stuff and all that. After the book, he also had a porno tape. He wanted to go on an apology tour, apologize to the public, but also to his co-stars from Saved by the Bell, who were so pissed at him for all the lies, they wouldn't ever speak to him, let alone try to get him on roles.
They wouldn't speak to him.
The hardest thing about being a child star is giving up your childhood. You don't get a childhood. Know your lines and rehearse and practice. You know, it was making sure that you were the funniest and the best that you could be, because if you weren't funny, you could be replaced.
12 years he played
12 years, yeah, because there was a
college years and the new class.
Right.
I felt lost.
It was called Screeched, a real sex tape.
The sex tape is
okay. So the sex tape is after I would have met him. I would have met him in like 96,
Okay, good.
97.
Phew, what does that mean?
Right. Well, just that he had probably washed his hands.
Paris Hilton had made $14 million off this sex tape. And my buddy said, 14 million, holy smokes, where's a Screech sex tape? You got to be worth at least $1 million. And I thought, yeah, maybe.
Okay, so we are getting to see how absolutely desperate he is in life and how sad it is. That's all I got to say.
I just don't think he's that talented. Afterwards, he should have went to college and gotten a skill that he could work at instead of just sitting around and hoping that he was going to get more Screech roles, which is what he did.
And writing completely false books and
Doing
sex tapes.
Everything but getting a skill and going to work.
Well, let's hear about how the sex tape thing happened. There's a little more to it.
And that's as simple as it was. And in my stupidity, I thought, you know, I could totally fake this. I could get a stunt person to take my place. It's
Penis.
my face, but nothing else. Looking back now, in my 30s, I realized that was really dumb. You know, I definitely got some money off of it, but it wasn't worth what the fallout was. I mean, people to this day, they look down on me. There's a lot of people who look, oh, that's, you know, how disgusting of you, and I didn't really do it.
So that's fake too.
The book was another disappointment of mine. I was a first-time author.
That's the cover.
They had a ghostwriter.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy a few times. So the book has some truth in it, and a lot of the stories were just kind of throwaways, like, you know, oh, well, kids were smoking pot and, you know, having sex behind the scenes.
It was a lot worse than that. He was talking
another just throwaway statement of, so was anybody doing drugs or sleeping together on the set? Well, what do you think? There was a bunch of kids with hormones at, you know, 15, 16 years old. That turned into, you know, factual trash talking about everybody, which really was, I have nothing but good thoughts and memories towards everybody.
They all hate him.
Yeah, and you can see how he's passing the buck, and he's like, I didn't know anything. Bullshit, dude. You have to approve all this, your manager. Everyone has to go through this. It's not like he just talked to someone for 5 minutes and then they published a book.
He's sorry that he said yes, but he did say yes. He did approve all of that.
He probably
knew
went to
about
them.
every single thing.
He went to the publishers and said, I want to make this.
Oh, yeah.
I need money.
100%.
And things got worse.
The way this links into some of the other videos we've made is that this is an example of somebody who was very famous, young, and then they became an adult, and they got very desperate and very stupid very quickly. And there's nobody there to help them figure out how to generate the skills needed to be an adult, and they're just flailing all over the place, metaphysically and physically.
I judge him as a person, not as like a kid that was broken down. I don't see, there's way too big a facade this whole time, his whole life, to pretend like he was really a victim of something. If he would have exploited that.
Right. I think he's just that stupid. I think he's just dumb enough to just go along with any stupid thing that anyone says to him.
I think he was an average intelligence guy that got really desperate for money, and that made him really stupid.
I think we're both right.
So when the book came out and it had all kinds of crazy, stupid shit in it,
right?
Really offensive, like out there. Then Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach Morris,
right,
was on a show talking about a new show he was trying to promote, and they brought up Screech during this time. And usually, stars or people in Hollywood really don't talk about each other, even when they should or want to.
They'll say, "Oh yeah, Dustin, he's his
funny
own
guy."
thing. But what I want to focus on is my movie.
Not here.
You know anything about the Saved by the Bell movie coming out?
Yes, I heard about it. Yeah, that's about all we know. We're not involved in any way, so no one came to us and asked for our involvement. So, would you like to say something about the whole thing? You're just keeping your mouth shut.
That's Hollywood right there.
You look like you're aching to say something.
It does. He looks like he wants to say something.
Wow. It was based on Dustin Diamond's book. I'm guessing you have not read that, or have you?
I've read excerpts.
This guy's such a dick.
Danny or Dustin?
Sorry, I'm right here.
Diamond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I used to say it. I don't know Dustin at all, but like everything I read, and like he and I have talked endlessly about Saved by the Bell, and I grew up at the same time. I was acting like it's so negative, and it always bums me out because he's like.
It is.
I know
negative.
everybody
that I
from
must
the
say.
show.
It's like everything that I've heard about his book is that it is negative, and I don't remember those things because my experience on the show was very positive, and that's why when people say, "Oh, you don't like talking about it," it's like, no, I don't mind talking about it. I just don't really remember that time, but also everything I do remember was extremely positive.
But like I know Elizabeth and Tiffany and Mario, and everyone has nothing but like awesome times to say about that, except for Dustin. And I'm
Do you
like,
think
that
it's,
might be
do you think
bro.
it's bull? Do you think he's making it up?
No,
or
I
do
think
you
a bunch
think
of
he just
it
has a
is.
skewed perception of what it
I think a bunch of it's bullshit.
But it's
just full of shit, like it's.
Yeah.
His perspective.
You saw it.
The crew is laughing.
Screech is not packing that the hell out of here.
He said he had like a 12-inch dick or something.
There's no fucking.
How did their show not work out? Make them like that.
And on.
Mark Paul's like I thought it was Mark Paul. I forgot.
Mark Paul's new Screech, angry at the old Screech.
That guy's great.
He's awesome.
He hangs out on Robot Chicken all the time, and then they like make real comments like that all the time. He forgot to be Hollywood.
Damn,
That's great.
that should have been. They could have done a lot of stuff like that.
Right.
Oh, it would have been so good.
When was the last time you saw any of the cast members?
It's been
right now.
Ages. I mean, I haven't seen Mark Paul since I was 16.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't seen Tiffany or
He's like,
Elizabeth
yeah.
since then either. You know, I'm 39. It's been a minute.
Wow. Is there anything you'd like to say to them if you saw them?
Gosh, yeah, I would just like to give them a hug and tell them how proud I am of what they've been doing, and ask for forgiveness for any kind of misunderstandings that may have
misunderstandings
by the book. And obviously it was never my intention, but with my name being put on the front of it, and with Ghost Rider, by nature of it, his name is nowhere to be, so it's believable that it was mine.
I'm almost positive that he said Mario Lopez had sex with another dude.
Oh.
It was something like that. Like it was totally.
It's a misunderstanding.
Yeah. So you can see why Mario.
Mario's like, you know what? Fuck
looks like
you.
that.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
You said you said that about me, right? And I'm right here, right?
If there was a misunderstanding.
It's as if Corey was sitting right there, and I'm talking about Back to the Sofa. I'm like, hey, Corey, if there's any misunderstanding about what we said about your dancing,
I'd like to apologize for how you took that.
It's been taken completely out of context. We're actually big fans of the dance.
Huge. And then he should look at us like that.
Right.
It was mine. The photo thing happened after that. The People magazine.
Boo! Get off the stage!
The cover and stuff. So
there was. How mad he is. He is Mr. Smiles, Mr. Extra, talking to stars, and this is anyway. There was a photo they did, like a 20th reunion photo for whatever, and he wasn't invited.
When we're setting up all this equipment and getting all the shows ready and all the clips together that we're going to watch, and Chris is doing very specific, settings to make sure that all things go correctly. I'm Dustin Diamond.
I wasn't part of the cover
and he's Mario Lopez. And he's like, I'm trying to make sure I click the right thing so this video doesn't get trashed. And I'm like,
and this is what I see.
Hey, was there any misunderstandings about Corey?
And there really haven't. That's the farthest thing from the truth.
What'd you think when you saw the Saved by the Bell reunion on The Tonight Show?
I wish I could have been a part of it. I didn't know that was already done.
Did you see the look on Mario's face?
He loves it. He's drinking it in. He's like,
he really is. What'd you think about it when your dumbass didn't get invited?
pursue acting? Do you want to be a public figure?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all I know. I mean, I've been doing it, acting and performing.
And stabbing people, though.
Since I was 8 years old. So it's really my bread and butter.
He says that a lot.
Corey did it since he was 4.
I'm good at it.
So
I'm proud of the work.
It's another level.
When I've done it, it's just how do you phenomenal, Screech character.
I wish his eyes could speak.
It's the fact that it's about him, and he's in the book.
Yes.
And not painted favorably.
No.
It's as if I did a Twitch stream trashing Chris for 12 hours straight. And then we came back here and I'm like, so Chris, what do you think about, everything that's been going on?
Oh, no, I would be interviewing you. And I would say, so Kyle, how have projects been recently for you?
Man, I just wish you could have been there with me. And Screech is such a piece of work.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Every single time they'd say, hey, we loved it, but we saw too much Screech in it.
Oh, wow.
Like, I can't change my bone structure. I mean, what do you want me to do? Like, we're going to actually make it legit.
It'll fuck you up.
I want to put the tomfoolery and malarkey behind me.
Ugh, keep saying that.
For that clean slate, time for the change.
Oh, my God.
And then he died. But to be fair...
then he went back to his planet.
I have nothing but positive things to say about it. It was a great experience. And I got along with Dustin, too. I got along with I was probably the only one that really, I was really cool with them. And he was always a little quirky, and, but because he was a couple years younger. But at that time, when you're a teenager, it's a big difference.
God, he is such a good-looking man.
I know.
I was all good. I never had any.
God damn it.
Even then,
have any issues with these?
I wanted to be like,
outfits
all right, you see the difference. But he is the Britannia
I know.
of Saved by the Bell.
Totally.
Those are bright. The dance moves.
And Zach is the Ashley and James.
I sat down and I was talking to Brecken and...
Oh my God.
Like, this was the show. It was stupid. It was supposed to be funny stupid.
You're just looking at attractive people that are young.
It was so long ago. Who cares anymore? Are you over it?
Well, that's too bad. No, I mean, I'm flattered that people still want to ask and talk to me about it and recognize me, because it means I haven't aged poorly.
Anyway, so one thing that I love this show called Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. It's a great show, short series, on Adult Swim. And Dustin Diamond actually randomly showed up on one of the seasons, and he played himself getting stabbed in the jail that he was in by another inmate. And he goes to hell, and then his life is now a sitcom.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm in a sitcom.
He's the center of the joke, and he's in on it. I think he should have done tons more stuff like this.
Absolutely. He might have been able to save his house.
Well, it was
like
cancer.
and subscribe.
Let's get serious for a moment.
Oh, no.
I'll be all the Screech that I can be.
44.
Dustin Diamond was best known by a different name.
That's his legacy.
Diamond was only 11 when he joined the high school.
Oh my God.
I know.
But long after Bayside High, Diamond couldn't escape Screech's.
Oh, he's wearing...
Dustin Diamond joins me from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Nice to see everybody.
Diamond had a lower profile entertainment career in adulthood. He appeared in reality TV shows, landed small acting roles, and performed stand-up comedy. But it wasn't always enough to make ends meet.
Do you still have checks coming in from Saved by the Bell?
Oh yeah, residuals for $3, $1 here and there.
So it's not as significant as people might think.
No.
Diamond filed for bankruptcy in 2001. He turned to selling T-shirts online to avoid foreclosure on his home in 2006.
It's time to save Screech's house.
To raise money that same year, he made and released a sex tape that he later said used a body double. He claimed the 2009 tell-all included fabricated details about his co-stars. He apologized.
So scummy.
That'll always be funny to me.
Tell them how proud I am of what they've been doing, and ask.
Zero compassion moment. Zero compassion.
I fucking love that.
Misunderstandings that may have come about by the book.
Misunderstanding.
Diamond asked a judge for forgiveness for pulling a knife in a bar fight.
Having been in the public eye ever since I was a little boy has taught me to be careful of every step I make.
Well,
No, it hasn't.
Convicted of 2
You hung out in Merced.
and disorderly conduct with a
Okay, so he didn't get a charge of assault on the person.
Right, he just had it.
in 2016 for violating probation after testing positive for oxycodone.
Neat.
In January 2021, Diamond announced he had been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. After a series of public struggles,
Maybe that's made up.
toughest fight yet for a performer.
So again, Kyle has no reverence for the character. For
Also, here's my P.O. box where you can send stuff to me.
This was not the reason for the video.
Yeah.
Bye, Dustin.
Hey, sorry that it didn't go better.
Maybe you'll be beating the shit out of old Horshack in heaven now, or hell, or wherever you are.
Yeah, they're both in hell.
This is not stop. So anyway, if you were a fan of Saved by the Bell, if you still are, like I am, and are kind of sad for Dustin, but not really, but kind of, then this was the video for you. How about that?
Hey, that's great.
Bye, Screech.
Bye, Screech.
That makes me feel dirty.
Yeah, you are dirty. You're a YouTube whore.